Hey coaches, what's going on? It is Coach Tim here with another video. And guys, I have a really good one for you today. I want to talk to you guys about the art of scoring points, okay? And this is really important for those who want to actually score more points, win more games. And being an offensive minded coach, I'm always trying to master the art of how can I put up as many points as I can in a game. So we're going to talk about it real quick. Before we get into this video, do me a solid, guys. Like and subscribe to my channel. You'll be doing me a big solid, and that's my gift to you. You can download my free Beast Formation Playbook, guys. That's my gift to you. All right, guys, so let's get into it. Let's get into the art of scoring. And, I'm going to be frank with you guys. Since I started coaching youth football at the age of 20, I've always been ruthless when it comes down to putting up massive points, guys. I wasn't satisfied with, scoring 21 points or 28 points or, 35 points or 42 points or whatever. I wanted to put up as many points as I possibly can. I'm one of those guys who really, I don't like to show mercy, guys, okay? I know some guys may consider this a sportsmanship issue or something, but I love scoring as many points as I can, okay? So with that being said, the number one thing, guys, that I look for, or that, and this is in my philosophy, guys, the number one thing that I try to do is look for matchups, okay? Similar to basketball, matchups. I believe matchups is really what determines scheme. I believe matchups is what determine leverage. And I believe matchups is what totally can make you just a total monster and headache to deal with when it comes down to playing games. So when it comes down to matchups, particularly on offense, guys, what I'm looking for, number one, is I want to know who's the team's weakest player, overall player. I want to know who's their weakest defensive lineman, their weakest linebacker, their weakest cornerback, and their weakest safety. I'm looking at that. My coaches, when I'm calling plays during a game, I don't have an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator on the youth level, okay? I use my coaches, my assistant coaches, as analysts to help me identify who's the weakest defensive lineman, who's the weakest linebacker, cornerback, safety, you name it, right? And from there, what I'm doing is similar to a boxer, is that I'm jabbing, then I'm hitting them with the hook. So I'm going to be jabbing on that weak player. So let's say a team has a very weak, strong side defensive end, okay? They got a very weak defensive end. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run off tackle and power until they adjust, okay? We're going to bully that kid. We're going to find, it's kind of like, honestly, it's kind of like hunting or feast of famine or something, man. Like, I see blood. I see the weakest player. And what we're going to do is we're going to beat him up. We're going to bully that kid. We want that kid to cry. We want that kid not to play football no more. And once they adjust, so we jabbing at that kid, that weak kid. We jabbing. Once they adjust, what we're doing is we're hitting them now with a right hook, which is we're hitting them in the exact spot that they just adjusted to. So if we're hitting them with 14 power, right? We hitting them with 14 power, and then now they're gonna move their middle linebacker to be over that, let's see, that B gap, over that B gap. Well, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna wedge them in the middle, because now they're vulnerable. Have you ever watched a boxing match where you know, you got this strong, powerful boxer that you got to be careful with, because if you know, if you get in their zone, you get hit with their left, they're gonna knock you out. But the strategy is, the best strategy that you see the opposing boxer do is hit them with a body shot. Hit them with a body shot. Now you got that boxer off their game. Now that boxer, he's not thinking about knocking you out. He's thinking about his own body. He's thinking about getting hit in the ribs multiple times by you. And that's the way I play. I'm looking for your weakest kid per position, or per defensive unit, right? So I'm looking for the weakest defensive end, the weakest corner, the weakest middle linebacker, the weakest safety. And we're picking on that one kid. And then when you adjust, guess what? We picking on that vulnerable area that you just exposed to us. And guys, that's one of the key ways I coach. Of course, there's other methods that I use as well, but finding the matchups, guys, the right matchups is everything, guys. You know, finding the right cornerback you can not only throw the ball on, but just if you teach your wide receivers to block right, you know, finding the right kid that can block you, or finding the right kid who can block that cornerback will help you, like, totally dominate one side of the ball. Guys, I literally won my championship game running 5 plays. I put up 72 points in my championship game, running about 5 plays. Why? Because we exploited their weak players, we exploited their weak spots, and we doubled down on it, and they couldn't stop it. They wasn't ready to stop it. And we were scoring every time we touched the ball. And that's what it's about, guys. It's not about having 100 plays in your playbook and trying to look all fancy and nice. I used to do that stuff. But that's really not the art of play calling, guys. The art of play calling is finding the right matchups, getting leverage on that team, exploiting that team, and repeating. All right, guys, so I hope you got value out of this video. If you did, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to go deeper on this in later videos, guys. And, you know, if you want to learn more about how to score more points, you know, I average 35 points per game, you know, and I created a course called the Scoring Formula that show you exactly how to do the same thing that I do, the same system, the same structure of how I teach my kids to score. And if you got a team that's struggling, that's put up points, and you may have a team that's putting up decent numbers, but you know they can do more, check out the Scoring Formula. I'm going to teach you everything I know, my entire system of how I score points on offense. You know, you guys know I run the BEAST offense, but you don't have to run the BEAST offense to learn from the scoring formula. Once you learn the formula, you can apply it to whatever offense you're running, including the spread. If you got more of a balanced attack, like I formation, you can do that. If you got more double wing, single wing stuff, the scoring formula works for that. I'm gonna teach you the exact formula I use to put up points, guys. And you know, I guarantee that you'll be scoring more points. And if you're interested in that course, it's going to be the first link in the description box. And that's what it's about, guys. You know, we're going to win more games, score more points in 2022. We're going to do that, and I'm going to help you do that, guys. All right, guys. That's it with Coach Tim. Remember, win more, score more, beast out more. Peace.